Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video we're going to learn how to add IndiaMART leads inquiries to Google Sheets for Biotechnology Services. So I am an owner of a Biotechnology Services business and a receiver of leads for my business in my IndiaMART account, and I create the systematic record of all my leads details in Google Sheet. Now here what I want is that as soon as by the potential customers or clients a new lead is going to be generated in my IndiaMART account, I want to add the lead details in my Google Sheets. I want to create a record of my lead in my Google Sheets. Now creating this record manually after the new lead is generated is very time consuming. So what I've done is I've simply automated this entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. And here in this automation, I'm going to build a connection between IndiaMART and Google Sheets with the help of it. So if you also want to learn about this amazing automation process step by step, for that let me take you to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to add IndiaMART leads inquiries to Google Sheets for Biotechnology Services. So as an owner of a Biotechnology Services business, I use IndiaMART to connect with potential clients who inquire about my services. And I use Google Sheets to maintain a centralized record of all the incoming leads, making it easy to track. To streamline this process, I've set up an automation that instantly adds my new IndiaMART leads into my Google Sheets whenever a new lead is going to be generated by the potential customers or clients. This ensures that every lead is captured in real time without manual data entry, allowing me to focus on engaging with my potential clients and converting them into customers. And I'm going to create this amazing automation between IndiaMART and Google Sheets with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign into our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly apps window in front of you, in which you can see all the products that Pabbly provides, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on this Access Now button right here. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow over here, I'm going to give it as Add IndiaMART Leads Inquiries to Google Sheets for Biotechnology Services. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow. After that, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. These are the folders from which I'm going to select IndiaMART Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving the name to the workflow and selecting the folder, I'm going to click on this Create button in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Add IndiaMART Leads Inquiries to Google Sheets for Biotechnology Services, and you can see that there are two windows in front of you. One over here says Trigger, other says Action. So what is Trigger and Action? Trigger and Action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two principles. Over here, Trigger says when this happens and Action says do this. That means what is Action? Action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as IndiaMART. As with the help of IndiaMART, I'm collecting the data of my leads and their inquiries. I want that as soon as a new lead is going to be generated in my IndiaMART account, automatically the trigger over here should capture the response of that. That is why for my trigger application, I've selected it as IndiaMART, and for the trigger event, I'm going to select it as new leads. After selecting the trigger application and the event, you can see that Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. Now using this unique webhook URL, we're going to build a connection between IndiaMART and Pabbly Connect by following the steps given here below in the help desk. So firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, log into your IndiaMART account that you want to connect to Pabbly Connect. So this is my account right over here. And to connect this account to Pabbly Connect, from the left side of the panel, go towards the Lead Manager option right here. As you go to land towards your Lead Manager page, over here what you have to do is click on this top left corner button menu. From the drop down, go to Import Export Leads, and from the given options, click on Push API button right here. So as I'm going to land towards the push API integration page of my IndiaMART account, over here it is asking for us to select a source. Click on the drop down. These are the given sources in which I have not received my source. So I'm going to click on this other option right here. Over here, dialog box is going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the platform name and the URL. So firstly, for the platform name over here, I'm going to give it as Pabbly Connect. This is the platform name, and for the URL I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. After entering the platform name and the URL, click on save button. It is asking for the reason why we're activating this API. For that I'm going to select the random reason from the drop down and click on this button right over here. As I've done that, you can see now the webhook URL has been added to my IndiaMART account. As now the webhook URL is added, I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. It is saying waiting for webhook response. So now to check whether IndiaMART is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect or not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to generate a test lead in my IndiaMART account, and after generating the test lead, I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the test lead being generated or not. And how am I going to generate the test lead? For that, I'm going to log into my IndiaMART users account. So this is my IndiaMART users account, and using this account, I'm going to generate the test lead. It is asking for us to enter a product. So I've created a dummy product from my business with the help of which I'm going to generate a test lead. So I've created a dummy product over here in the name of. This is the dummy product that I've created, and with the help of this dummy product, I'm going to generate the test lead. For that, I'm going to click on this contact supplier button. It is asking for the message, that is the inquiry. So for the message over here, I'm going to write it as, I want to purchase a PCR thermal cycler. Do you have different models available? So this is the inquiry that I have. I'm going to click on this next button. It is asking for a GST number. So I'm going to enter a dummy GST number right over here, and then I'm going to click on this submit button. It says your details are sent. This means now the test lead is generated. As now the test lead is generated, I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. Over here, I'm going to wait for a few seconds, and as I've done that, you can see the response of the new lead being generated has been captured in our trigger. Let us tally the response. Status comes as success. This is the query ID. This is the dummy subject. The state of the lead is Madhya Pradesh. The name of my lead is Angel. If I'm going to further scroll down, the phone number of the lead is right over here. Email is testuser@pabblytudes.com. Country is IN, that is India. Company is test company. City is Bhopal. Address is Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. If I'm going to further scroll down, this is the date and time of the inquiry being generated. This is the dummy product that I've created. And for the message, this is the inquiry that I've generated. You can see right over here. I want to purchase a PCR thermal cycler. Do you have different models available? So this inquiry has also been captured in the response. As now the response of the lead being generated in our IndiaMART account has been captured over here in our trigger. This means that IndiaMART is connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. After setting up our trigger step, we need to set up our action step. My objective is that as soon as a new lead is going to be generated in my IndiaMART account, I want to create a record of the lead details over here in this spreadsheet in my Google Sheet. Now for that, we're going to set up our action step, and for the action application over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as Google Sheets. And for the action event, I'm going to select it as add new row, as I want to create a record of my new leads. Okay. And then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection that you already have. After that, click on sign in with Google. A window is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a permission. So I'm going to click on this allow button. As this is a safe process, my data is perfectly saved with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on this allow button right here. As I've done that, you can see I have successfully authorized Google Sheets to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, it is asking for us to select the spreadsheet. So I've created a spreadsheet over here, the name of IndiaMART leads details, in which I want to create the record of my lead. So for the spreadsheet over here, I'm going to select it as IndiaMART leads details. And for the sheet over here, I'm going to select it as sheet 1. After that, it is asking for the unique query ID, name, email, phone number, company, address, city, state, country, product name, and the message. These are the fields that I've created as headers in this spreadsheet. You can see right over here. And under these headers, I want to create a record of my leads details. So for the data of these fields, what I'm going to do is I'm going to map the data. What is mapping? Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So I'm going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. And how it works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, this was the previous step. As I'm going to click on it, this is the same response that is captured in our previous step. And I'm going to create this record of the lead in my spreadsheet. So it is asking for the unique query ID. So I'm going to select the data of the unique query ID from my previous response. As I've selected the data from my previous response, the data is mapped. And as I've mapped the data has now become dynamic. That means now whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this mapped data. Next, it is asking for the name. So I'm going to map map the data of the name of my lead. For the email over here, I'm going to map the data of the email of my lead right over here. It is asking for the phone number, so I'm going to map the data of the phone number of my lead right over here, okay? After that, for the company, I'm going to map the data of the company name over here. You can see. For the address, I'm going to map the data of the address right over here. This is the address. I'm going to map the data. For the city over here, I'm going to map the data of the city right here. This is the city. I'm going to map the data. For the state over here, I'm going to map the data of the state right here. For the country, I'm going to map the data of the country right over here. This is the country. I'm going to map the data. For the product name, I'm going to map the data of the product name right over here. This is the product name. And for the message, I'm going to map the data of the message right over here. So this is the message. I'm going to map the data. After filling in all required details, I'm going to click on this Save and Send Test Request button right here. As I've done that, you can see we have received a response, which is a positive response. So now I'm going to open my spreadsheet and check whether the record of my leads details has been created or not. For that, I'm going to open my spreadsheet that I've created. So as you can see over here, the record of my leads details has been successfully created in my spreadsheet. This is a unique query ID. Name is Angel. Email is testuser@pabblytudes.com with a mobile number. Company is Test Company. Address is Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. City is Bhopal. State is Madhya Pradesh. If I'm going to further scroll down, country is IN, that is India. Product name, this is a dummy product, and this is the message. So as now the record of my leads details has been created in my spreadsheet. This means that we successfully created an automation between IndiaMART and Google Sheets with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I am an owner of a biotechnology business and I receive a lot of leads and inquiries from my potential customers and clients in my IndiaMART account. And I create a record of my leads details in my spreadsheet. For the trigger, I've selected as IndiaMART new leads, as whenever a new lead is going to be created in my IndiaMART account, automatically the trigger over here is going to be captured the response. For the action, I've selected as Google Sheets as new row, as whenever by the potential customers or clients a new lead is going to be generated and trigger is going to capture the response. Using this action step, the record of my leads details is going to be created in my Google Sheets. And with Pabbly Connect, in this manner, I have built a connection between these two applications. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple other applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. If you have any questions, you can contact us on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can check the queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video.